Series 3-2, and LeBron James is seeking his 31st series win when holding a 2-game lead in a series that would be one shy of the most all-time by any player. Anthony Davis is coming off his best game of the series, scoring 31 points and grabbing 19 rebounds in the Lakers' Game 5 loss. But that, of course, takes us to the other side in Game 5. Desmond Bane and Ja Morant, they were as good as it gets. They became the sixth duo in NBA playoff history with 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in the same game. Speaking of a great duo, we've got you covered in LA pregame with reports from Tim McMahon covering the Grizzlies and Dave McMenamin covering the Lakers. Dave, I'm going to start with you because LeBron led the Lakers with 5 turnovers in their Game 5 loss. But what can you tell us about the steps the Lakers are taking to turn things around and close out the series at home tonight?
Well, after Game 5, LeBron James said he played like bleep and vowed to be better in Game 6. He showed up at the arena about 5 hours before tip-off, and Darvin Ham met with his coaching staff yesterday, and I'm told that when they were watching the tape of Game 5, the biggest thing that stood out was the energy level of their team. And so in order to try to help that be higher going into Game 6, Darvin Ham canceled the morning shoot-around on Friday morning. He's going to have a walkthrough at the arena around 4:30. He says that LeBron James is not dealing with any body maintenance issue with that right foot tendon injury he suffered from. It's more of just rest and recovery. And so obviously he's getting his work started early. Look at LeBron James's teams' records all time. 11-1 when his team's up 3-2 in a series. You could expect him to come in locked and loaded. If the Lakers win tonight, LeBron James will tie Derek Fisher for the most playoff series wins in NBA history with 40.
Yeah, another stat in his favor. LeBron James has never lost a series in which he has led a 2-game lead going 30-0. And that's the second most series wins without a loss by any player in NBA history. Tim, to you now, because the Grizzlies almost took a game on the road in Game 4 and their stars had to show out to get a win in Game 5. What can you tell us about the Grizzlies' mindset going into a must-win Game 6 on the road?
Well, you know confidence is never a problem for the Grizzlies, or at least a lack of confidence. And Desmond Bane declared there would be a Game 7. Now, Jaren Jackson Jr. said the Grizzlies are angry that they've put themselves in this situation, facing elimination. Talked about how they have to use that anger and channel it into focus. They lacked discipline in Game 4. You know, Desmond Bane blamed a lack of game plan discipline for allowing the OT forcing basket. So they really need to focus. This is a team that hasn't been able to do that on the road this year. 0-16 as road underdogs, including these last 2 games. Remains to be seen whether they will have Luke Kennard. Did not look good at shoot-around with that injured shoulder. We did not see him take a shot or even so much as dribble a basketball.
Yeah, you were talking about those road games. The Grizzlies are 13-36 all-time in road playoff games and 5-12 in elimination games. Dave and Tim, great stuff as always. Thank you.
Taking flight. Oh, set it with his chest.
I've been doing this too long. I'm making no statements.
He's been issued a flagrant foul penalty too and has been ejected from the game.
Yeah, see you later.
Fans making me a villain, the media making me a villain. That just creates a whole different persona on me. So now you think I intended to hit LeBron James in the nuts. I'm playing basketball, I'm a basketball player.
It all goes down tonight in Game 6, and we're joined by our NBA reporter who covers the Grizzlies for us, Tim McMahon. And Tim, after Game 5, Desmond Bane, he all but guaranteed that we'd all be going back to Memphis for a Game 7. And it's not like the Grizzlies lack confidence, right? But why specifically are they so confident that they are going to be able to extend this series?
As you said, they are always confident. That's never been an issue. Maybe too confident at times, but they feel like, hey, they easily could have won Game 5. If they get a stop on the last possession of regulation, they do win that game. I mean, even when they got blown out in Game 3, Ja Morant made a point of twice pointing out, hey, we won the last 3 quarters. Not quite how the scoreboard's kept, but this is a team that is always going to believe in itself. And the other thing is, while Dillon Brooks has melted in the spotlight that he so desperately sought, when he was poking that bear, he was not lying when he said LeBron James is old. And this series has been back and forth every other day, travel in between. And let's be honest, Game 5 LeBron sort of looked his age. If that's the case again tonight, obviously the Grizzlies really like their chances.
You mentioned Dillon Brooks. Let's dive a little bit more into him because he's struggled in this series, right? The 4th worst jump shooter in this postseason. So what is the Grizzlies' plan for him tonight?
Well, it's complicated by Luke Kennard being questionable, and I think questionable is putting it pretty mildly. Just got back from shoot-around. It's that left shoulder, shooting shoulder, that's injured. I'm here to tell you, he did not take a shot. He did not take a dribble. He was standing around, and when a ball bounced to that side, he reached with his right arm across his body. Wasn't even moving his shoulder. I'd be surprised if he plays tonight, and that's the solution to, hey, do we need to pull the plug on Dillon Brooks? You saw that early in the third quarter in Game 5. Boom, the Grizzlies go on a run. Suddenly the spacing is wide open. And you give Ja Morant wide open space and Desmond Bane wide open space, and they can do a lot of damage. I would be surprised if they have that option. So they might just have to ride it out with Dillon Brooks and hope that he has his first good shooting game of this postseason.
Tim, thank you so much. You said the magic words, though, LeBron James and his last game. Now, I'm not going to be the one that calls LeBron James old. The Lakers are, in fact, 5-point favorites tonight. But I want to get into his performance a little bit more with our esteemed panel here because Perk, he only had 15 points in the last game, 5 of 17 from the floor, and afterwards he vowed to be better.
Really, Richard?
I just try to get some FaceTime, man.
Pirouette with the camera.
Listen, man.
Blue
You gotta make love to the camera. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
And with that, Kendrick Perkins.
too much FaceTime.
Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen.
This is late night with
Late
Richard
night.
Jefferson.
Do the voice, Richard. Do the voice.
No, we
Do
don't.
it.
We don't have to do that voice. We don't have to do that voice. I just want to tell you, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with my esteemed colleagues.
I didn't know Squiz had.
Yeah, you're not Squid's.
Squidward, let him
I'm in my moment right now. I got my one shot.
Tell.
You know what I'm saying?
But the question is, will LeBron be in his moment tonight, Kendrick Perkins?
Hell
what do you
yeah,
expect
he is.
from him?
Hell yeah, he is. Matter of fact, I believe he getting to the arena at what, 2:30? 2:35
Might be
hours.
there now.
Yeah, he might be there now. And look, we're going to see the best version of LeBron James tonight. He knows the importance of this game. He's going to come out. He's going to set the tone. He's going to be aggressive. He's not going to be settling. And he's not going to wait on Anthony Davis. We have seen this time and time again. We know he could look old at times, but he get the benefit of the doubt.
Look old. He is old.
No, he's not old.
No, I'm saying he old.
Basketball.
Are you old then? Because
Yes.
I'm very old.
Ancient.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we know he old.
So given that it would be more travel, given that it would be going back and forth today, are we calling this must-win at this point for the Lakers?
this is absolutely a must-win game for the Los Angeles Lakers just because, that last game took, that going in there, they probably were not going to have the energy of the second half. They will absolutely have to win this, and LeBron James will have to do it because he has been the consistent factor along with some key pieces of the supporting cast. What's wrong, Perk?
How's it a must? Like, we keep saying must
Man,
win.
it's a must
It's
win.
a must when you're at
must win.
home.
Stop. You're getting on the plane and you got everything.
Did that help
catered
them
to
last
you,
time they got on the
food,
plane,
the
Perk?
cookies, the...
Did it help them the last time
they won
got on the
game
plane?
one.
Okay, but we're at game
They
6.
won game one.
We're at game 6, and it's the
It was
playoffs.
different circumstances. He played 48 minutes in game 4. They took a 10:30 flight the next morning, got
The
in,
Lakers
lost
have a
some time.
history late in the season of not performing after tough travel days.
So
we know this.
In a game 7, you're going against LeBron.
I mean, Memphis looked great at home in game 7.
Answer his question.
In a game 7, are you going against LeBron?
In this circumstance, I am favoring the team, the Memphis Grizzlies.
So, yeah,
who
she
showed up
is. So,
because
she,
they're
yes,
younger.
she is.
So this
that
is
Janae
must win.
Gumake is going against
It's not just
LeBron in a game
LeBron.
7.
Wow.
Put on the graphic.
Well, how about
I'm
this
going
series,
for him
my
in game
friend?
6.
Keep it in
and
the
the series will be
What
done.
about Philadelphia and Boston? We're going to preview that series coming up next because that series has some history. Richard Jefferson, Malika Andrews, Janae Agumake, Kendrick Perkins, Zach Lowe is standing by, as well as Adrian Wojnarowski. And the Celtics and Hawks game, I mean, it was a little closer, right, than we expected maybe it to be. So we're going to get to that because the Celtics did handle their business. But we have to start with 2 massive Game 6s that are going down tonight on ESPN.
Let's go.
We have the Warriors, the Lakers. They can both close out their first-round series at home tonight. So with that, let's bring Zach Lowe into this conversation because out of all of the players, Zach, who are going to see the floor for these 4 teams, who is the singular most important guy?
It's still, all these years later, LeBron James, because the Lakers should not want any part of going back to Memphis for a Game 7, and I thought LeBron, by his standards, played a passive game in Game 5. 5 of 17, 9 of his shots were threes, and we saw Memphis went all in on shooting. They played smaller, they played more guards, more Luke Kennard, more Tyus Jones with John Morant. If LeBron has a well-spaced floor for his team, and the other team has all those little guards on defense, that is hunting time for LeBron. That is, where is Luke Kennard? Bring him into a pick and roll with me, and if they switch, I'm posting up. Where's Ja? Where's Tyus? And we didn't see that bully ball gear from him in that game, and that's fine. That's the luxury of a 3-1 lead with Game 6 at home. He's 38 years old. He's played more minutes than all but one guy in the history of the league. But tonight, I expect to see that guy come out if Memphis plays small like that again and try to pound the Grizzlies into that good night in the playoffs.
Okay, so Sinead, this can be the most important player from any of the games tonight, any of the 4 teams. Who are you taking?
Yeah, if we thought about the big scheme of things, the big picture, obviously LeBron James, but specifically, this is Game 6. And who was built